And we are starting lying down on our backs. So lying down on your back can be anything for you. You might like reclined butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. You might like a constructive rest pose with the knees bent and the feet on the outer edges of the mat. Or you might just like to have Shavasana, maybe using the bolster underneath the knees. I want you to be comfortable here. We've got a breathing technique whilst we're lying down. But for the moment, let's just take our Boo mudra. And that is the two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger. They come together, and then the thumb just rests down onto the ring finger knuckle, or the fingernail, knuckle or the fingernail, wherever you like that one. So the two fingers, they are together and outstretched, and you can rest the backs of the hands down. Now you can notice here with this Boo mudra, you can flip the palms over so that the fingers point downwards towards the earth, or you might prefer to open up the shoulders and have the palms face up. So try both, see which one you prefer to have with that Boo mudra. It's a particularly grounding, centering, anchoring mudra to the practice today for our autumn equinox, which was on Saturday. So slow down your mind here. Slow down your presence on the mat. And just let go of your day. Whatever has brought you here this evening. Don't think about anything that's been in the past or that is to come in the future. Try to remain in the present moment. And to be able to do that, always just return back to the breath, how you're breathing, and also your physical presence as you lay there. And just find a steady breath. Breathing in and out of the nostrils, making each breath equal to the other. And each exhale, you release tightness, tension, gripping, but just a little bit more each breath. So the autumn equinox is the meteorological season changing from summer to autumn. But also within pagan festivals, which also follow the natural seasons and the earth, Mabon. It's a time for late harvest, time for thanksgiving and gratefulness for the earth's provision throughout the year, throughout the summer. And as humans, we also track the way that the seasons go. So this is, a time that you look inwards, you be a little bit more introspective, a little bit more inquisitive to yourself. And it's a time of releasing, letting go, a time of clearing out, cleansing, and a time of healing and winding down. It's also a time really to, embrace this change in season, change in the temperature, change in the colors of the trees around us, and what this means to you. The cycle restarts and the great wheel of life continues to turn. After the peak of summer comes autumn, a time to wind down and take stock of where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. The trees shed their leaves, as do we. This is an opportunity for us to let go of what no longer serves us. Continuing to work towards the intentions you set at the beginning of the year with renewed precision and purpose. And now is the time to prioritize and focus by dropping the excess and turning inward. So use this practice today to be thankful for your intentions, thankful for the year so far up to September. You can release the mudra if you like here, or you can keep the Bu mudra. Again, it's grounding, centering, anchoring you to the ground. But if you're in butterfly pose or Shavasana, just bend up the knees, place the soles of the feet wide on the mat, drop the knees together. So you're more in a constructive rest posture for our breathing technique of Viloma Pranayama. So Viloma is breathing against the natural flow. And it is an interrupted breathing technique where you pause briefly during your breath. And we're going to actually do the interrupting on the exhale breath. So you exhale in 3 parts. So you exhale a third, pause for between 1 to 3 seconds, exhale your second third, pause for 1 to 3 seconds, and then exhale the remaining third of the breath. And then taking a breath back in again. So breathe normally, breathe in and breathe out. Take a nice, slow, steady breath in through the nose. Pause for a moment at the top and then exhale 1/3. Pause. Exhale the second third. Pause. Exhale the third. And breathe in deeply. And exhale fully all in one go. So we're going to do that twice more. Breathe in. Slight retention of breath. Breathe out the first third. Pause. Breathe out second. Pause. Breathe out third. And breathe in and out of equal length. Last full round of Viloma, breathing in. Slight retention. Be relaxed in the retention, be relaxed in the pause. Exhale first third. Pause. Exhale second. Pause. Exhale third. And breathe in and out. Return back to a steady and normal breath. Just notice how that Viloma was for you. It's not a breathing technique we do very often with the retention, the kumbhaka, retention of breath. But Viloma should be practiced only three or four times. You don't need to do too many of those. So now release the mudra, bring movement back into the hands. Heel toe the feet into parallel and gently draw the knees in. Roll and massage out through the spine. And then gently and slowly rolling over onto one side and just bring yourself up into cat and cow. So finding freedom of movement with the breath here. So breathing in for your cow and breathing out for cat. And just reminding yourself of that Viloma breath with the retention. You might just like to introduce a slight retention at the end of the inhale and at the end of the exhale. So just before moving into the inhale or the exhale, you have that slight pause. Moment just to pause and slow down, where you're doing nothing. And then release back into a wide-legged child's pose. Bringing the big toes to touch. Reach the fingers out. Exhale. Rest the belly down towards the mat. Maybe the head comes down onto a block. Relax the forehead. Relax the facial expression, the area around the mouth, the eyes, the jaw, and the teeth. Take a little swallow. Moisten into the mouth and the lips. And then just pressing into the right palm, just lift the left arm and it threads through and under. So the palm is face up. So you want the wrist somewhere by your right knee. And then start to rest yourself down in that threading the needle of child's pose. So you can rest onto the left ear if that feels more comfortable for the head and the neck, or on the forehead, or maybe you like to take the right hand around and it takes hold of the left hip or the left thigh. So then you can relax onto the left ear. Now try to release the hips back towards the heels. We're going into our first hold. Make sure you're comfortable going into the posture so that you can stay and hold and find the stillness. Really trying to release on each exhale, letting go as much as you can. Reminding yourself to bring yourself into the present, just noticing target areas for yourself? What particularly takes you to your edge? And gently breathing in. If you chose the wrapped arm, bring that back around. It reaches forward, you press into the palm, you release the underneath arm and stretch that out. Exhale, come back into that wide-legged child's pose for the neutral response. Breathing in, breathing out. And then pressing into the left palm, threading right arm through and under, palm faces up, and then drawing that outer shoulder down. And again, you can come onto the forehead or the right ear, and you can choose the option of releasing the left hand back to the right hip or the thigh. So just trying to notice any imbalances as you switch sides. Most of the postures today will be right and left to try and find balance, which is again an autumnal equinox thing of the day and the night being the same length. Slow and steady breaths, letting go on each exhale even more. Nice and slowly breathing in, releasing the top hand if you chose the option of the bind, bringing that left arm forward, pressing up, releasing the right arm forward, exhaling, melting into the center. Releasing into neutral. And then just bringing yourself up onto the forearms and bringing the knees together. And then just melt into heart pose here, just to release into the chest a little bit. Exhaling. We're not staying here for a long period of time. Releasing into the chest, the shoulders, the armpits, the upper back. And then gently pull yourself back through child's pose, rolling up through the spine to kneeling. Last thing to come up is the crown of the head. Take your time there, avoid dizziness, and just come up to upright. Take the legs out. So the knees have been bent for quite a while. So just take a moment to just sit with the legs out straight. We're going to come into deer pose in a moment, so you can use blocks or a bolster for your deer pose if you like. And deer pose is with a little square in the front. Your front foot is flexed, and you're starting to open up that hip and release a little bit, and then come over the front thigh. It doesn't matter which leg is in front, left or right. And that back leg might tuck in towards the buttock, or it might be a little bit further away, but you can have your block or your bolster underneath the chest here. So really allow the belly to be free of the thigh. And then maybe you rest the head onto the block, the bolster, a blanket, or the back of the hands, or maybe you just simply rest the head down onto the mat if that feels okay. Again, it's about working up to your edge here. So starting off, at the easiest place, and working up into it. We're just noticing here how the underneath leg, the underneath glute and outer hip feel. This is a softer variation to a swan or a pigeon in hatha. Each breath out, let go a little bit more. Relax the gripping. Soften the joints. And release muscle engagement. Breathing in, preparing to come out, start to press into the hands, pressing up through the body, starting to roll up to seated. And then just releasing the legs straight over to the other side. And moving that bolster or that block over, and just release the back hip a little bit forward and backwards. Going to release into the hip flexor and the quad there. And then get the belly free of the thigh as you come into that deer twist. Exhaling. And again, using your head supported by a prop, or it rests down onto the back of the hands or a blanket. Reminding yourself here of left and right. Whichever side you started on might have been the more comfortable side for you, or vice versa. Just check in again, imbalances of the different sides. You don't have to judge or be critical about that. It's just an observation, of course. Be inquisitive. Turn the focus inwards. Find stillness in the mind and the body. Exhaling, letting go even further. Allowing the release, allowing the letting go. Breathing in, preparing to come out as you breathe out. Bring the hands underneath, roll up through the spine. Bring yourself back up into seated and just bring the knees together. Press the knees with the palms. Little bit of hip mobility here. Sitting upright on the sit bones. Try to keep the spine nice and long. The legs are bent and out in front of you, hip width. And you just release one knee down, switch over to the other side. So again, you're switching from sit bone to sit bone, keeping nice and tall. You might need to use the hands if that's not possible. It's okay. You just roll from knee to buttock, buttock to knee. Good. And then bring yourself all the way down into prone, lying on the belly. Head comes to the back of the hands. Big toes touch here and let the heels fall out. So that's a gentle inward rotation of the hips there. We've just had deep outward rotation. And those hip mobilizers. So exhale, relax the belly and the spine, relax the glutes and the buttocks. Quad stretches here. If you wish, you can use the strap, of course, if the right hand doesn't quite meet the right foot. Lift the hip flexor and the thigh away, send the knee long, and then draw the heel in towards the buttock. Relax, let go. Notice throughout the hold here what actually happens to the hip flexor and the thigh as you try to meet your edge, but also find that stillness. You might feel that the hip flexor starts to release a little bit away from the mat. So you can always start to lengthen the thigh away again and pull the hip flexor down. And have a loose grip onto the hand here and the fingers. And release the hand, let the foot float down. Bring big toes to touch once more, relax in through the neutral prone posture, letting go of everything. Then left hand sweeps back to take left foot. We'll use the strap, lift the thigh and the hip flexor away from the mat. Exhale, draw the heel in towards the buttock. Always remind yourself to continue letting go of any gripping that starts to come in during the hold. Notice if that happens anywhere in the body, or particularly the target areas. And slowly release the hand, let the foot float down. Big toes together, heels fall out. Neutral as you relax everything. Sway the hips, give them a little rock out from side to side. And then just press through the hands, bring yourself up through tabletop and mobilize a little bit into the spine there. A few rounds of cat and cow will circle the hips. Going to come into a winged dragon. So you can, of course, use your bolster underneath your back thigh if you like to have that, and you can always use the blocks to lean on as well, and those blocks can be on any level. So a winged dragon, we're going to bring the right foot forward, heel turns forward, toes turn out, and the knee goes out to the outer edges of your mat as well as you sink the back left hip down. Again, you can choose either onto the hands, or you can use the bolster wherever it needs to be, or you can come down onto the forearms, always much a nicer place to be if you can reach down onto the forearms. So start to feel the weight of where you can begin the posture and let gravity take you deeper. Okay, so it's not important to get into the furthest posture you can go. Let the gravity take you there. So deep exhale, let go. Really feel the weight of the pelvis and the hips dropping down. Maybe after the first minute or so, you have felt that you can start to get deeper into the posture, working a little bit more towards your higher edge here. Again, it's your edge in different postures is very different. From the lying quad stretch to a winged dragon, it might be a different edge point. And you feel the body getting closer and closer towards the earth, relaxing deeper and deeper. You are doing great here. We are almost at the 3 minute marker. All of these postures have been 3 minutes, but we are doing right and left. So each posture is about 7 minutes in total. And slowly come out wherever you are on the forearms. Bring yourself back up onto the blocks or to the palms. Come up into a little bit of a high dragon. Dropping hips, lifting up the chest, drawing just in through the abdomen, a little bit of a back extension there, and then gently release into your half monkey. Keep the chest parallel to the mat. Draw the toes up of the front right leg. Dig in the heel and stretch in through the back of the hamstring there. Just that 1 minute recovery there. And gently release that right foot back. Sway out through the hips. Oh, that feels good. Left foot forward. Turn the toes out. Bring the heel forward and send that left knee out over those middle toes, out to the wider edges of your mat. Again, you can use the bolster underneath that thigh, starting off maybe on the blocks, and you come lower as you get deeper into the posture. We're here for 3 minutes. So get comfortable. Close the eyes and enjoy. Deep breaths out. Let go of all of that deeper muscle engagement, hamstrings, hip flexors, certainly into the glutes. Let it go. And as we change sides, obviously between the right and the left, just notice those differences. Keep working that left knee outwards, it's winged. Working towards your own edge, whatever that edge is for you. Might even be a 3 or a 4 in postures, might be a 7. Last few breaths here, doing great. And slowly bringing the hands down, coming up into that high dragon, dropping shoulders down the back, dropping hips. Maybe you can feel tingling, burning sensations, whatever you're feeling. Just work with the posture as you gently bring yourself back into just that release and relief posture. Chest parallel to the ground, drawing toes up of the left foot, digging the heel in, and releasing through the hamstring of that front left leg. And then gently bringing that left leg back, tabletop, sway out, circle the hips, release where you need to, and then come to seated, legs out in front of you, and just sit nice and tall for a moment, allowing the legs to just be. Whoa, I got this deep, deep burn on that last winged one all the way down my right quad. It was like, oof, what's going on? So dragonfly pose, which means wide leg, with a lateral stretch here. So you can, of course, use a bolster or a block on the inside of the leg. And we're going to take a little twist here, so you can use the back left hand to just give yourself a little twist, turning towards that front thigh, and then resting the arm down, opening up the back rib cage, and maybe the top arm comes up and over the head. You don't have to introduce the arm, but that's your choice. Try to think about both sit bones grounding there. So try not to lift the back sit bone off of the mat. Keep the chest nice and open. Armpit raises to the sky if you've got the arm over the head. And maybe the arm is on that bolster or a block on any of the levels, or maybe you don't need the block and the arm can come down on the inside of the leg. That is obviously your deepest place to be. And again, the heaviness of gravity takes the body over towards that leg without trying to cave in the chest. It's like a side angle pose. If we're standing and we're not trying to cave in the rib cage, we're trying to open it up towards the sky, lifting the gaze if it feels comfortable for the neck, or looking down towards the hand and the shin. To relax any of the tension that might be building in the posture. It is a challenge. I know it's yin for a reason. It's not restorative. This is our peak pose. Just a few more breaths here. Doing great for the 3-minute hold. And release the arm first, if you chose that option. Press through the underneath arm. Bring yourself back up to the center. Whew. I don't know where you felt that. where your target areas were. There's a lot going on. Let's go to the other side, but again, start with the twist. So taking the hand back behind you, turning the chest to face the thigh, and then releasing the arm down again, opening up the back rib cage, and then choosing the option with the arm over the head, and the arm just rests on the head. You don't have to hold the arm up. So let the elbow rest on the head, and then exhale, relax into it. Let the gravity take the body down rather than forcing it. Keep rolling the rib cage open, trying not to let it roll inwards towards the front of the mat. So there really is a lot going on here. You might be feeling this in the inner thighs, inner groin. You might be feeling it in the rib cages, the sides of the body. You might be feeling it into the shoulders. Really surrender to the breath, surrender to gravity. Doing great. And the gaze can be down at the hand or the shin, or up to the sky, wherever that neck allows you to focus. Keep grounding through the back sit bone, pulling it down as much as the other one is grounding you. Nice. And releasing the top hand, using the underneath hand to press you up slowly. Bring the head and the neck back in line with the spine. Sit tall. Release out the stretch just by bringing yourself forward. Deep fold, exhaling. It's just a recovery pose from those lateral stretches. Walking the hands back in towards the body. Bend the knees, lift the legs together. Well done. Oh, give them a big squeeze. So last couple of postures coming up. This is half saddle. So we can start in with the left leg out. Let me go this way actually. Left leg out. You can use the block. You can use the bolster behind you. You can sit on the block with the left butt cheek if you like. And the right leg is bent and underneath you. So what I say is lift up the calf a little bit so that you can get that space there. And this may be enough. The knees, the right knee is straight down the mat. So this might be enough for you. If you like, you can start to come back onto the elbows. Try to keep that knee pulling its way downwards towards the mat. Or maybe you come all the way onto a bolster or a block, or back, but try to keep pulling that knee down. And maybe the arms go into cactus. So it's just a half saddle or a half euro, relaxing into the right thigh. Releasing tension into the hip flexor and the psoas. It's a deep stretch for those. You might feel it in the lower back as well. Hoping that the more time that passes, the posture becomes a little bit easier rather than more challenging. Taking a breath in, coming out of wherever you were. Slowly, carefully, roll over onto the left butt cheek. Release the right leg out in front. Sit nice and tall. Phew. And left leg goes back up. Go this side. And make sure that calf is out of the way so it can give you space. Knee is forward rather than out. So make sure the knee is parallel to the hip. And then taking time, use gravity. Maybe you're sitting on the block, using the bolster behind you. Softening as much as you can. If it's too much, stay upright or using the props. Keep trying to pull the left knee downwards towards the mat without engaging muscles as such. It's the weight that presses the knee down towards the earth. Slowly coming out, bringing yourself back from wherever you were. Releasing over onto the right cheek. Lengthening the left leg out. And just stretch the legs out along the mat. And then slowly roll down through the spine. We're coming all the way into our mats for last posture, which is really drawing the knees in towards the chest and mobilizing through the spine, circling through the hips, opening up the hips, and then releasing knees right and left, windscreen wiper. So this is just your final release of movement from all of those postures. So we've targeted inner thighs, inner groin, outer hip, hip sockets, hamstrings, hip flexors, quadriceps, psoas. I think that's about it. And then return back into your place of Shavasana, making sure that you're warm and comfortable, turning lights off if you like, using eye pillows, using bolsters underneath the knees, and just make yourself comfortable. So really, when we do an autumn equinox practice, it's usually surrounding the theme of balance. And that doesn't mean balancing as in standing postures balance, but finding right and left balance through all of those postures that we did today. And some of them may have been a big challenge. So always be thankful to your body for what it gives you when you come to the mat. So we'll end our practice today with a body scan for relaxation. And the purpose of this guided body scan is to release tension from the body and tune in to the areas that might require a little bit of extra care. And notice sensations as they come and go, and listen to what your body is trying to tell you by noticing the different feelings that arise. So get comfortable now, make those final adjustments. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and breathe deeply in and out through your nose, finding the balance of each inhale to each exhale. Focus first on your right foot and move the attention up towards your right thigh, relaxing each muscle of the leg along the way. Notice and allow any sensations that might be present in your right leg. Now focus on your left foot and move the attention up towards your left thigh, relaxing each muscle along the way. And notice and allow any sensations that might be present in your left leg. And you feel the right and the left leg become heavier with every breath you take. If you notice tension in any particular spot, try to breathe into it and imagine the tightness being released as you exhale. Once both feet and both legs feel relaxed, focus your attention on your hips and pelvis and soften into this space. Move your awareness up your back and let your belly be heavy and relaxed as you move into complete stillness and peace. Feel the entirety of your torso. Try not to label or to judge your experience, but simply observe as you relax. Focus next on your right shoulder, relaxing the muscles all the way down your arm and into your right hand, including all the fingers. Bringing awareness and curiosity to any sensations present there. Now focus on your left shoulder, relaxing the muscles all the way down your arm and into your left hand, including all of the fingers. And bring awareness and curiosity to any sensations present there. If your mind begins to wander, bring your focus back to both arms. As you feel them become heavier with every breath you take. Once both arms are fully relaxed, move up towards your neck and your head. Soften your facial muscles and your jaw. And feel the weight of your head and the soft flow of your breath through your nose. Now feel the entirety of your body. What is your body trying to communicate to you? Where are sensations coming from and what do they feel like? Is there any part of your body that is still trying to tense or to tighten up? If so, breathe into it and invite it to let go and relax. Stay here and enjoy the total body relaxation. Slowly bring your awareness back as you deepen your breath, breathing in and maybe sighing out through the mouth. as you bring your awareness back into your surroundings, onto the mat, and back into your body. Bring some movement into the hands, into the feet. Taking time to awaken from that body scan. Choosing to stretch or draw the knees in and rolling out. And take time to roll to one side. Pausing there, coming up to seated, bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra at heart center. And as you sit, take a moment to just notice how you feel, right and left sides of your body, and your body in its full entirety as one. And reminding yourself of the themes of an autumn equinox, but also as the seasons change, we move with the seasons. We begin to slow down just a little bit. We take stock and a time for reflection of the past few months of summer, and be thankful and grateful for all of the earth's provision. And be most thankful for your body, your breath. And I thank you. Namaste.